Good day and welcome to SCO BRICS Insight, where we look at what's really going on in the world of the BRICS. Now today I want to talk about that despite all the luxury car brands from the West pulling out of Russia, Russians are still buying thousands of high-end luxury European and Western cars. Now some of you may remember the late great rock star from the 1960s, Janis Joplin, singing, "Oh Lord, please buy me a Mercedes Benz. My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends." Well, it means that Russians seem to feel the same way about those and other Western brands. Now, despite the decline around the world, demand for premium German cars in Russia by alternative channels have grown very noticeably, with interest in expensive brands from the USA and Japan also increasing, plus obviously in Italy. Now, despite the manufacturers withdrawing their official dealerships and support in Russia, some brands and models have surpassed the results they achieved in the pre-sanctions period. So much for austerity, huh? Now, which cars from unfriendly countries are still very popular with consumers in Russia? Well, according to 2024, global sales of the German automobile troika did decrease, but BMW and Mercedes-Benz sold 4% fewer cars in 2024 than in 2023, and Audi's sales decreased by about 12%. But against this background, Russian buyers are demonstrated in some premium brands from Germany as well as other countries in the USA and Italy. Now, before I continue, I'd like to make an appeal. If you like and enjoy my videos, you can help me fund the channel and my website scobricksinsight.com to further develop it. You can do this by making a small donation, which can be done by clicking on the thanks button at the bottom of the video screen. And everybody who donates does get a personal thank you from me, and I'm thanking you all for watching because every view is important. Now, according to Autostat Info agency in Russia, in 2024, Russians bought 11,755 new BMWs, which is 30% more than 2023. It should also be noticed that at the end of last year, the management of the Bavarian automaker dismissed employees involved in the delivery of only 100 BMW cars that were delivered illegally to Russia. Mercedes-Benz's growth is less pronounced, with a 1.7% increase of 6,984 cars. In contrast, over the last year, Russia's purchased more than 2,000 new Porsches and SUVs, and that's up 15.6%. Lamborghini sports crossovers and supercars were up 30%, up to 150 units. While Rolls Royce surged 74% to 1,500 cars, which is 20% of their Bentley and Land Rover were up 19% and 20% respectively. However, there has been a decline in the sales of some premium auto brands from unfriendly countries. For example, Jaguar sales have decreased by over 30% over the year, and that's probably because of their new woke attitude and their LGB promotion that they did. Cadillac's down by 28% and Audi by 13.4%. Nevertheless, Russians did buy 50 Cadillacs and more than 3,600 Audis last year, while Jaguar sales were below 750 units. Now, as was the case 3 years ago, domestic consumers prefer luxury cars, crossovers and full-size SUVs. I mean, the most popular BMW models in the Russian Federation were the X5 SUVs, 2,700, and the X7, just over 2,000. Mercedes, it was the GLS and the Geländewagens at 1,500 and 2,000 apiece. Cadillacs sold over 525 of the Escalade brand, which was their most popular model. Porsche's Cayenne crossover dominated the Russian market with sales of over 1,500 units, followed by the Camry sedan, 5,800, and the Land Cruiser of Toyota has sold over 14,000 units, so they've been in high demand. So despite the sanctions imposed, including a ban on the import of certain vehicles, some models have actually shown some explosive growth. I mean, for example, the full-size American Dodge Ram pickup sold 422 units in Russia, but yet in 2021. But at the end of last year, it was up to 1,800 vehicles. A similar trend is evident in the sales of the Ford F-Series pickups, which gone from 55 units to 180 units in 2024. Ilya Petrov, who's the director of retail sales at Avalon Automobiles, puts the growth of Dodge Ram sales at the popularity of powerful and fast cars. And here's many buyers. There's just a Dodge Ram is another additional toy in their collection. Plus, certain automotive brands, not exclusive premium brands, demonstrated superior results in 2024 compared to 2021. For instance, Honda, despite their statements regarding the suspension of operations in Russia, exhibited 100% growth in 2024 compared to the previous years, with 2,750 of their vehicles being registered. Now that's in stark contrast to only 1,500 they sold in 2021. Now Ford got 396% surge, with units up to the Ford Bronco with over 400 sold. The results of premium European, Japanese and American cars demonstrate that the presence of these brands in representative office in Russia is not necessary for them to actually sell large quantities of their cars. Anton Shaparin, who's the vice president of the Russian Automobile Union, notes that the models of these departed brands continue to be popular, even in the absence of official marketing support. I suppose they'll be watching the old reruns of Top Gear. Consumers, he says, are going to buy these despite the absence of warranties and the challenges related to service and maintenance, plus the lack of comprehensive support. Buyers are resorting to the grey and black import markets, designing customer clearance systems and schemes, and paying excessive duties, recycling fees, etc. That's because premium cars have always been in high demand in Russia due to the quality, status and technology, says Irina Frank, who's a managing director of Frank Auto Sales. Now she asserts that the demand for well-known brands will always prevail, even in the face of competition from less familiar Chinese brands. I mean, she attributes this to people's habits and preferences, drawing an analogy to people have towards their dental and beauty treatments, and opting for familiar specialists for comfort and confidence. Now she suggests a similar tendency in the automotive sector, where people are more familiar with certain brands like Mercedes-Benz rather than their new Chinese options that have appeared. Now, Igor Mozzaretto, who's a partner at the analytical agency Avostat, notes that the more prestigious and premium the car, the more the owner's attachment to the brand becomes apparent. He says that a customer who's been driving a Mercedes-Benz or a Rolls Royce for the last 15 to 20 years will buy a new Mercedes or a Rolls Royce next time. He likes the brand he's familiar with, and the price to him doesn't matter whether it's 10 million rubles or 30 million rubles. In the premium and luxury segment, a car is more than just a vehicle. It's an emblem of status and success, and it's an indicator of that status that needs to be met. Now, Mozzaretto emphasised that the demand for these vehicles is consistently strong, regardless of the external factors. I mean, buyers in this segment, price is not a determining factor at all. Certain models are simply unparalleled in the segment. I mean, for example, there's no Chinese Ferrari, Lamborghini, only Italian. There's no Rolls Royce Chinese, it's British quality, and the same for Bentley. And if people want these cars, they'll buy them regardless of the sanctions, logistical difficulties and other factors. Now, the demand for European and American cars will always remain strong in there, because the segment of conservative buyers are reluctant to change their brand preferences, and that's despite the price increases and the challenges associated with alternative imports. Also, the emergence of China as a significant player in the automotive sector, starting back in the Russian premium sector was dominated by the BMW. So back then in 2021, BMW sold 46,106 units, Mercedes 39,363, Lexus 20,400, and the results for the brands of Chinese are shifting upwards. I mean, 2024, the top brands were Exceed from China, 41,000, Tank, 28,600, and Lexang, 23,300. While the first showed a decline in 2024, the other two have shown significant growth at 1,800 and 395%. Now, it should be noted that Lexang is not officially represented in Russia, and the Chinese automotive industry has also made inroads into the heavy luxury segment, with the 161 BYD Dang U7 SUVs being on the market. Now, these cars are priced at 17 and 25 million rubles each, and the annual increase in the share of these Chinese vehicles is probably going to increase. This is predicted on the absence of the official representative offices of American and European automakers. But the luxury cars from China will never completely replace the premium models from Europe, particularly the British Rolls Royce Bentley and the German Mercedes. There's always going to be a demand for them because their preference for BMW and Mercedes is not it's a matter of taste. And while Chinese premium cars have not replaced that, the expansion of the Chinese brands will continue. I mean, the speed at which they've introduced new products and the growing technological sophistication and categories is impressive. So there's a strong likelihood that the number of traditional brand adherents in Russia will gradually decline as they become, the buyers are more aware of what the Chinese cars can do. But we shall see. Anyway, that's the situation in the Russian car market. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. And if you want to help me out, click on the thanks button at the bottom of the screen and make a donation, and I'll see you all again soon. Thank you.